Welcome into a brand new episode of WSI TV. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back for another brand new episode of WSI TV. I'm Jordan Bishop and this is Mary Kate Mulligan.
Hi guys, welcome on back. Before we get started, remember to, as always, head on over to WSITV.com so you can access the WSI Vault as well as all of the free additional information.
Now, as you can see, we've got a very special episode lined up for you here. We've stepped away from the bar for once, and we're going to bring in Ed Rowe, the founder of Titan Digital Mining. Mary Kate's got a few questions for him, so let's jump over to that.
Alrighty. Alright guys, so I'm here with Ed Rowe, the founder of Titan Digital Mining. How are you doing, Ed?
Good, how are you?
Great.
Good.
So we're going to ask Ed some questions about cryptocurrency, just really get his thoughts and opinions on this. So first of all, very general, how did you get started in this?
Well, pretty much got started by YouTube recommendations, which they pretty much look at your history and recommend certain videos on what you should watch. So I started building computers about 10 years ago, and that's probably what kicked off the whole thing, because fast forward to last year and a video recommendation came across about a Chinese Bitcoin mining farm. So I pulled that up and looked at it, and it didn't really have anything to do with me, but there were some other attachments to that YouTube video about GPU mining. So I watched those. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. So so when I was working for my previous company, CSX, I was traveling the country up in Virginia, and I built one in my hotel room, which you'll see here when we take a tour of the facility. But just to make sure I knew what I was doing and make sure I got all my kinks ironed out, I built that one in my hotel room, and it worked out fine. So I was like, okay, I need to take this on a bigger scale. So I quit my job and got all my funding and built my facility.
That's awesome. Wow. All right, and where, in your opinion, where do you see the future of cryptocurrency going?
Oh yeah, cryptocurrency is definitely here to stay. It's just like anything else. Like 10,000 years ago, we used clamshells for money, right?
Good point.
Which nobody really knows about. They don't teach in school. But then everything got advanced up through the ages as far as trading. You know, salt was a big commodity they traded, and then we moved on to currency. So now this is just the next stage in the evolution of currency, I think. So it's definitely here to stay and to go forward.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. So what would you say, along those same lines, what would you say to cryptocurrency skeptics?
Oh, the skeptics. Skepticism is pretty good. I mean, their opinion is welcome, because we can always prove them wrong later on down the road when the time comes and it does actually boom for our economy. And where there's money to be made, I'm sure companies will find a way to make money off of it, just like our government. So.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so this is getting a little more specific. So once you have your rig set up, how much work do you have to put into the actual mining of it? If any?
The only thing I do is build the rig, and then I just start the program, and then the mining is all done by itself, 24/7.
Wow, so that's a great source of passive income then.
That's
for you.
right, it's passive income.
All right, that's awesome.
But you need to start big, because if you can do it as a hobby and make 50, 60 bucks a month with one mining rig, depending on which equipment you use, you can maybe make a little bit more, a little bit less. But if you really want a good passive income, then you'd have to go big and get a big loan and then build your rigs.
Okay. All right, so switching gears real quick. So it's been reported, we talked about this a little bit, that NASA, the military, and other big companies such as Samsung are using or will be using blockchain for a lot of their services. So what are your thoughts on blockchain and its future potential? Blockchain
is probably, whoever created it, is probably one of the best things that probably came to light as far as technology goes, as far as security goes. It's taken off. A lot of the countries are picking up on it, and they're accepting it. Even it might not be the crypto side, they're finding a lot of other applications to use it for as far as industries go.
Yeah, so yeah, I think blockchain's here to stay. So along those lines of blockchain, a lot of people have compared blockchain to the same way we got the internet in the 1990s, and how everyone just went crazy, this huge boom. So do you think that blockchain has the potential to be as big as, the internet in terms of how much it innovated and changed things?
Yeah, I think it will. I think it'll be maybe even a little bit bigger than the internet, because right now you got more technology now than you did back when the internet first came out. So most companies are based on technology and internet. And blockchain is all internet, so yeah, I think it'll be a little bit bigger than.
All right. So we talked a little bit about the time period that it takes for your rigs to mine. So we said around 13 hours.
Right.
Right? And so what's your process at that point? Do you have to do anything once that 13-hour point comes?
Nope. They pretty much every 13 hours it cashes out my coins for me and goes into an exchange. And then when I'm ready to take my money out of the exchange, I sell the Ethereum to dollars, and then I just switch it to my bank account for that.
So all automated. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's all automated.
All right. So our last question is just kind of a two-part. Do you have plans to mine anything besides Ethereum, and what made you pick Ethereum?
Yeah, Ethereum is going to be going away here after a while once they go proof of stake, so I'll have no choice but to mine another coin.
Okay.
As far as that goes, I'm not sure which one that'll be yet. It depends, like in another 3 or 4 months, which one has more is more worth it, because there's a website that tells you which coin is more profitable to mine.
Okay.
And then as far as Ethereum goes for picking it, that seemed to be the go-to coin since difficulty isn't as high as Bitcoin, and it's GPU based, so it's easier to manage and mine as well. And the programming is very easy as well with the cards that I use.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you, Ed. We are going to take you guys on a tour of the facility, but thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Ed, so I'm going to have you walk us through one of your rigs here if you just want to get started.
Okay. All right, so pretty much it's just like a desktop gaming rig, except for one video card you have 7. So what we have here is the motherboard, and then we have a USB drive, which is where I have my miner set up on. Behind this you have the Intel processor. Behind that you have the RAM, and then up on top here we had to elevate all the graphics cards because they will not fit on the motherboard side by side. So you elevate them, and then they have these special risers that plug into the bottom of them, which can transfer the information and do the mining. And then on the very end over here we have the power supply, and that powers the whole system.
Okay, and you said these are running 24/7, right?
They're running,
mining.
Yep, they're running 24/7. I have a hard drive over here which has the Windows program on it. You don't have to have an active Windows account. It can be inactive. That way when I have everything set up automatically, so where if the power fails, everything will come back on by itself, and I don't have to drive 45 minutes just to be here to turn everything on. And I monitor everything by my cell phone, so I know what's up, what's down, and how much each rig is giving me in hashing power, which is the mining power of each rig, which is usually about 210 mega hashes for Ethereum.
Right, and as you said, this is completely passive, right? You monitor it every couple of weeks. You said every 3 weeks you come down here?
That's correct. Once every 3 weeks I'll come down just to check on things if I haven't been down here. And it is all passive. It's like every morning I wake up, I see how many transactions went into my account, and then when I'm ready to cash out, I'll cash out. But
must be a great feeling, right?
It's a nice feeling, yes. It's very nice not having to work anymore and do this.
Right, that's interesting stuff there, Ed. It seems very complex, but the passive side of it seems like it's well worth it. If you're coming into this with fresh eyes, like Ed said, he comes and checks on it every 3 weeks, and you get you said you get about a quarter of Ethereum every 13 hours.
Every
or so?
13 hours I get 0.26.
Okay, and that's just flooding into your account.
Yep. So it's about 0.41 a day I usually get, is what the program says. Sometimes it might be a little more, sometimes a little less, but it averages out to about half a coin a day.
I mean, that's about the definition of passive income right there. Just checking on it every now and then. You said you got it on your phone. If anything goes wrong, you see right away.
That's right.
Now, a big question a lot of people have about cryptocurrencies and about mining more specifically is the air conditioned system. Now, we are in Florida here. It gets very hot. How do you cope with the computer heat and the heat?
Well, everybody thinks it's air conditioning, which is not the case, because for these cards, you have to have airflow that goes over the cards to keep them cool. Just pumping cold air in here is not going to do the trick. So what I set up was I have a ceiling fan in the back of the warehouse, and then I have my louvers up in the bay door which are bolted down. and it creates a wind tunnel. So I have the fan off right now, that way you guys can hear us talk. But when I turn it back on, all the air will be sucking out throughout the back top of the warehouse. So it'll keep the cards cool. So whatever the outside air temperature is, it usually gets no more than about 5 to 6 degrees above that in here. So, and people do say, you know, there's some mining farms in Iceland and Greenland and cold areas, which isn't bad for the cards. I mean, everybody thinks it's good, but nobody's actually set up a mining farm in a hot climate before and let it run the whole year and see what happens. So I'll be the guinea pig.
All right, Ed, I appreciate all this information. And again, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Hopefully we'll see you again. We'll get you back on and
yes, definitely.
We'll hand it back.
All right.
All right, so there you have it. Probably one of the most passive incomes you could ever ask for, cryptocurrency mining. Again, you heard it from Ed Rowe himself. Any skeptics should beware because they're going to miss out on a lot of money as cryptocurrency comes back from this correction that we had. But that's all we have for today. Mary Kate, thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of WSI TV. Be sure to visit WSITV.com where you can subscribe for free with no contract and gain instant access to the secrets of self-made millionaires via the WSI TV Vault. So go ahead and claim this gift for free now at WSITV.com.